Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling Look Back podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with
Donovan, and it's Donovan.
Spelling it out. Donovan's back.
Donnie Brasco, as you said.
Yes, Donnie Brasco. You've never used that name on the show. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking movie.
I don't know if I've seen it.
Oh man, I told you, you got to. It's Johnny Depp and somebody else. I can't remember.
Huh. I like Depp.
It's a good one though. Oh, Al Pacino.
Oh.
Yeah, Depp and Al Pacino. It's fantastic. But thanks for checking out the Pro Wrestling Look Back podcast, guys. This is episode 46 of the Roundtable. We appreciate you guys checking out the show. If you don't already, hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at PW Lookback on both of those. Give us a subscribe on YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, iTunes. I think I did that backwards. It's the first time I've ever done that.
Switching it up.
Yeah, not even intentionally. Teespring.com/Pro Wrestling Lookback is where you can go if you want to grab yourself a t-shirt, sticker. I've been talking about water bottles and backpacks, but I don't know. Send us a DM and let us know if that's something you're interested in. I can definitely do that. Other than that, check us out on Twitter and Instagram, I guess for me, at Salsa, SCELSA on both.
My Twitter is at JustDon44. I might follow you back, maybe.
Oh, now you're getting a follow back.
Maybe.
I remember some of the old episodes, you straight up told people, I'm not following you back. So things have changed with Donovan. It's nice to see, but we're back here, two-man booth, the round table, episode 46. Busy week, man.
Yeah.
The reunion. The Raw.
Well, it
was supposed to be a little bit of a PWLB reunion, yeah.
With Young Dog, and Young Ross, I want to say, he respectfully declined our offer. So,
yeah, unable to make it. Hopefully we can get him back in soon. I mean, it's been a while. I think it was 35 was the last time we had him. But hey, it'll be a big deal when we get him in here. So
yeah, maybe a look back.
Maybe like the SummerSlam preview show. I don't know. Send us a DM, Younger.
I want to reach out to Shane for that. I'm going to throw that in the air.
4-man show?
Yeah, I'm going to throw that.
It's been a while.
There. Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah. And I'm going to go. Are you coming?
Oh,
Should
yeah.
we get into this now? I don't know. Let's get into it now, Donovan. Are you going to SummerSlam? I want to know because I've got my ticket, my single ticket that I purchased the day of because multiple tickets were not able to be purchased within 30 seconds of them going on sale.
Crazy shit.
But yeah, so like you leaving me hanging here?
To update our listeners on what exactly happened here.
Yeah.
So the original plan was for all the crew to go and this and that, whatever. Like Nick told you, he got his ticket.
I tried to get us 5 tickets, but that wasn't happening.
No. And when
the day they went on sale,
when they go on sale, anybody listening knows you're probably a fucking wrestling fan, so you know how it is.
Oh yeah, any of the AEW fans, it's the sellouts. They happen quick.
So, long story short, Jag, a friend of the show, I was supposed to go with him as well, and maybe we were going to try and, round up a group of 3 tickets.
And I was willing to either sell mine or eat the money or whatever. I'd rather sit with people I know.
Yeah. So, he can't get the Monday off work, so he backed out.
Yeah.
Another
unfortunately declined.
Yeah, again, just all over.
Yeah.
Fuck. What are we doing wrong?
Something. I don't know. We got to figure it out, Don.
And then another friend of the show, he's never been on the show, but I'd like to get him in one day, is Buddy Chohan.
Yes.
Sammy.
We got to have him on the show.
Yeah, NWO.
He's a frequent listener, too, as far as I know.
He is. He loves our lookbacks and our... he likes a lot of the UFC stuff, too.
Yeah, okay. I guess we have done a lot of that recently, too, with the roundtable kind of... This show is kind of turned into just everything, and then we tack some wrestling onto it as well.
Nice crock pot of...
Yeah,
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, you busting out your drink there that I got you in New York City?
One for the good guys.
The Dragon Ball Z Spirit Bomb energy drink.
Give you a review right here.
Yeah, let's live on air. How's it taste? Does it taste like Red Bull in a Dragon Ball Z can?
A little bit, but not really. It has like a bit of a
berry?
A cherry berry. Yeah.
I don't know why that was a guess. That was a total guess.
A little bit of a cherry kind of berry kick to it. I like it. It's good. I don't know if I need any more... I'm pretty caffeinated.
Stimulants for the show. Yeah. You got your ice cap and you're ready to go. But
I was saying though, another man backed out. So now we got people falling out left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And I was still looking into tickets just for maybe me and you at this point. And 311 section at the top.
So up high.
I would have to pay, I believe, US dollars as well. So the conversion is a little bit more.
A lot.
And I was not willing to
spend the amount of money that it cost. Because my ticket was like $58. It wasn't too expensive when I bought it the day of.
Whereabouts are you?
I'm not in a great position. I'm kind of towards the top of the roof near the banners. Okay. But I would say, like, if you're, let's say you're watching hard camera, like up and to the left.
Yep.
If you're watching it like on TV, but like way up and to the left. I don't know how much of the entranceway I'm going to be able to see. I think it's going to be similar to when me, Mike D, Simon, everybody went to Survivor Series back 3 years ago. Jesus fuck. Well, I guess it was November, almost 3 years. Either way, it's time fucking flies. Yep. But yeah, so either way, we'll be in the building. I'm hoping Donovan's going to be there with me. We're going to work on getting tickets, and maybe we'll get an update whether you're here next week on the roundtable. Yeah.
If I can find a cheaper ticket high up, I'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
But then at this point, like I said to you, we talked off pod about it. I don't know if I don't want to pay a lot and be sitting up high.
You don't really have the same mentality as me in the sense I just kind of want to be in the building.
If it was WrestleMania, dude, hey, I'll be there. I'll sit.
It's like the second closest. Like, we're not getting WrestleMania,
but it ain't.
So you might.
You ain't. You know what I mean? So, I know.
I hear you. It's just like we're not getting WrestleMania.
Hey, dude, I'll tell you.
This is it, buddy.
I'll tell you like this. Even if it was the Royal Rumble, just because that to me is my probably personal favorite.
Yeah.
It's not. I'd fight for it, and I'd probably bite the bullet. At this point, I don't know. Yeah, it's just.
We'll see. We'll keep you updated on future roundtables. But I wanted to talk a bit about Raw 25, obviously, or not Raw 25, but the Raw reunion and the fact that it was significantly better, in my opinion, than Raw 25 that we had. What was it, last year? Yeah. I don't know how long ago it was now, but
yeah, last year. I
thought this episode was fun. I can't get into how much storyline development there was and stuff leading into SummerSlam and real character development and, like I said, stories that are going to culminate at SummerSlam. But as far as like bringing back some cool legends, having some really fun segments with the 24/7 title, and then they had a good match there with Roman and Joe. We'll dive more into it later. I kind of want to more or less kind of go through Raw beat for beat with you. But how did you think, just kind of off the bat, before we just how we dive in a little bit here at the beginning of the show?
I'd never really looked at it to be a super progressive show with the storylines, like maybe a tad here and there, but it was more about that. Like, that's exactly what it was, a reunion. You know?
And it was just fun.
Yeah, and what do people do at reunions? They hang out, they catch up, and
Exactly. No, I liked the segments the backstage when there was kind of a little party going on, and Sami Zayn coming in and talking shit about the legends that are there, quote unquote legends.
I gotta say too, I don't know if this is the Heyman factor at all or anything like that, or if it's just they're getting better at structuring these things, but I thought the placement of everything was done really well as far as like where people legends of yesterday popped up.
I thought opening the show with Cena and closing the show with Austin was perfect. And as much as we and every other, that's another topic I want to talk about this week, but all the other wrestling podcasts rag on Vince McMahon. I know that was his decision, and it was the right one.
Oh,
because those are his guys. Cena is Vince's fucking guy, and if there's anybody as close to Cena being Vince's guy, it's Austin, because nobody made more money for Vince than Austin. So I really liked that, and I don't know, I'd give Vince the props on that one for choosing the right people to open and close the show.
Even like in between, though, I like
absolutely. I just mean, it was the right decision, and it was obviously Vince's decision to choose the top 2 stars of the last 25 years to open and close the show. Obviously, I mean, we all wanted to see The Rock there, but, I mean, he's busy and probably can't make an appearance. I was hoping we were going to get something just because the show was in Florida. So it's like, hey, he's kind of around Florida more often than not, maybe. Hopefully. I don't know where he lives, but I thought it would have been nice to see Rock. Unfortunately, we didn't. But
I'm surprised there was not even a little video too, like just especially with him having that movie coming and Roman's involvement and all that shit.
Honestly, though, and I don't, like I said, we'll dive more into it later. I would rather not see him personally. This is my personal opinion.
Rocky.
Than have that. Than have the Rock on satellite, guys. I hope you're enjoying Raw. I'm getting jacked in the Rock's gym, and go buy yourself an Under Armour shirt.
I will.
I don't know. I like The Rock. I'm not chirping him, but I just mean I wouldn't have wanted that.
Yeah.
That's not what I
think there's bad blood. I've said it before. Quick off topic, I guess.
When was the last time he was on the show? Was it the episode when he came back and he was chirping Rusev and Lana?
I believe so, yeah.
That's so crazy, man, because I fucking missed that episode of Raw. And that's like the first episode, not the first, but one of the only in the last, since 2015, that I haven't watched or I didn't watch live. Because I remember, shout out to our buddy Hurdy, who wasn't able to come on the show this summer, but we're going to try and set something up over the winter, maybe over the phone with him in Germany. We'll see. Yeah. We might do like a late night roundtable if we can get up late, and because the time change and shit, that might be cool.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, but what was I saying? Fuck.
The Rock and his appearance, Rusev.
Oh yeah, so that night, Hurdy texted me and he's like, "Yeah, man, Rocky," and I was working at HMV and I had to close. This is when me and you back when we both worked there.
Yeah.
And I texted him back. I'm like, "I'm at work, man. Fuck, it's the one thing." It's like I would have loved to see The Rock. But obviously, I think I came home, and back then I was watching, shout out to Mike D, I would pick him up, and we'd watch a lot of the 3 a.m., Raw 12 to 3 a.m., which, side note, I just found out recently that doesn't happen in the States, because they replayed Raw Reunion this week, and somebody talked about it on, whether it was the Wade Keller Hotline or the Pro Wrestling Podcast, one of the shows, and they were talking about the fact that they replayed it again, and they're like, oh, they haven't done that in a long time, this and that, and I'm like, oh, wow. Well, I guess we're kind of lucky that we get the replay of Raw every week, no matter what, from 12 to 3 if you have the time and you miss the regular show.
Yeah. Or you get them nice little highlights like Dontron over here.
The Dontron. A couple other little things I guess we'll get into before we dive really deep into the show this week. I wanted to preview next week. We're probably going to be having another casual fan on the show. That'll be fun. A guest, Nick Newell.
Oh.
Never been on the show before. I'm excited because this guy's never done anything like this as far as recording a podcast. And he's been watching Raw with us, I want to say, 2 months, 3 months, almost every episode. I mean, don't get me wrong. We sometimes tune out and we end up talking, mingling between the five of us. But he knows the product. He has a few favorite wrestlers, and he is a true casual fan. Even more, I would go out on a limb and say, than Tanner. If guests remember Tanner from the show, Tanner we dubbed as the quote-unquote casual fan, but Tanner also knew quite a bit from hanging out with us so much, watching a decent amount of Raw and really paying attention to most of it. Newell really is, Nick, that is, a casual fan watching. He's not Googling anything wrestling. He doesn't have the WWE app on his phone or anything like that. He just watches Monday Night Raw with us. He doesn't even watch SmackDown. Yeah. So it's going to be cool to get him on next week. I'm excited about that. I mean, it's not 100%, but pretty much 100% I would say he's going to be here. If not, then there'll be some kind of guest in here for sure.
Yeah.
I guess I mentioned it small. This is because I'd rather get these small little topics out of the way. Is there too many fucking wrestling podcasts now, man? And I don't mean like just like these kind of like fan-based smaller shows like ours, and shout out Armchair Booker and 20 by 20 and Deadass Girls and all these, I don't want to say smaller, but just, you know what I mean, not mainstream wrestling podcasts. And then on top of that, we've got
the mainstream.
I feel like every fucking wrestler now does a show, and there's so many interviews, and I love it. And if, don't get me wrong, I love Formula One probably more than I love wrestling. So maybe if this was Formula One, I wouldn't be complaining as much. I don't know. That being said, there's a lot of Formula One podcasts that I don't listen to, so it's not like I'm out here trying to consume everything either. Mm-hmm. I'm just curious because I feel like it's a very saturated podcast market, and maybe that's a weird topic to talk about on a wrestling podcast, but I just wanted your opinion. It's not something me and you have ever really talked about.
Are there too many? Well, maybe. I heard Colt Cabana's he's stopping his show soon.
Really?
He's one of the original OG.
I would say he is the original as far as wrestling podcasts go, other than guys like Wade Keller and Dave Meltzer and guys who have been making content for years.
I don't know if that's, due to him, maybe because there is too much, or maybe he's just, I don't know, maybe doing more in-ring stuff.
Yeah.
But that just, I don't know, they kind of tie hand in hand.
You'd think he'd need the money with that fucking legal battle that your boy CM Punk's putting him through.
I don't know is that still going on? I don't know.
It was kind of just me taking a dig when I can.
Well,
But I don't know. It might still be. I really don't know.
If you were there, okay? If you were there, you would understand.
If I was watching at the time. Yes,
Mike, all you guys. Everybody rags on me for my Punk love.
It's because we all kind of missed the Punk era, so.
Hey, we'll tune in to AEW's next...
Starcast. He's going to be at Starcast.
Yeah, you never know.
You think he's going to show up at one of the pay-per-views?
One could only hope.
One could only hope. But yeah, wrestling podcast.
Are there too many?
You don't have to go too deep into it. It was just something I figured. You know what? We like shooting the shit on the round table, and this is kind of one of those touchy subjects, especially because we are a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I think so too.
There is. And I've even checked some of the former people in the business, like to kind of feel them out for a bit, and then I'll kind of weave them out and pick and choose who I like.
And I don't know, again, maybe I'm biased because I do a wrestling podcast too, but for me, it's less of this type of show and more of the, like, there's so many interviews. And I know I don't have to listen to them all, and I don't listen to a lot of them, but it's just like I feel like the whole roster gets interviewed all the time. There's always somebody's story and this, and I like them, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I figured it was a good topic to bring up in the sense that it's something me and you don't normally talk about. Yeah,
it's nice when they're like niche kind of podcasts.
That's why it sounds crazy, but I've said it on here before. Lillian Garcia's is probably one of my favorite wrestling podcasts because she gets the women and the guys that you wouldn't expect to tell the stories. And fuck, like I've said it before, they all end up crying. They all end up really like, I don't know if it's because they feel more comfortable around Lillian than they do around Chris Jericho or whoever. Nobody's going to start crying when they're sitting with Stone Cold doing a podcast. You know what I mean? I can't imagine that happening. Yeah. What are you crying for? Not that he would actually do that, but you know what I mean? I love her show, and she really opens up. I think I said it last week. I don't know if I did or not. I'm going to say it again if I did. I may or may not. Please, anyone interested in these interviews who isn't, feeling like there's too much and it's too saturated, go check out the Kayla Braxton interview with Lillian Garcia. I can tell you right now, and I'm not going to give away anything from the interview, you will not be looking at her giving interviews. And I know I've said the word interview a lot, but you will not look at her the same way doing a backstage interview the way you did before after listening to that show and hearing her journey and life story and how she ended up in the place that she is. Awesome episode, good podcast. But again, kind of going back on myself when I'm recommending a wrestling podcast after talking about the fact that there's too many.
But yeah, we pick and choose. Like I feel like you're much like me in that sense. We have what we like, and
exactly.
Even that, it's not like we'll listen to them all the time.
Even the guys like Don Tony and the Soup guys that I used to kind of be more ingrained with, I haven't been up to date. But that's just because there's so many podcasts, and I'm sorry, you look like you were gonna.
Oh no, I would just on that topic of those guys. Like that is probably the one that I do
guarantee
catch every week because I don't.
That's like me with the Wade Keller stuff.
I'm different than you in that sense where I know if like a few days pass by you don't want to, but you got Wade too, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to hear about Raw and.
It depends.
Like I listened to them today. I finished listening to it today.
The Don Tony or Soup?
Don Tony.
Okay. So I mean, it's not like a whole lot has happened.
But I just like what they offer.
You like their perspectives, their insight and experience in not only podcasting, but just watching wrestling. But yeah, I think for me, it's because I watch so much other shit that isn't wrestling all the time. Mm-hmm. And I ended up listening to so many podcasts lately leading into what I wanted to say next. And I'm lately, bro, this Egypt stuff, I've been hooked on this Joe Rogan, Graham Hancock, Randall Carlson, Michael Shermer, all these scientists, geologists, Egyptologists, what's his name? Jeff Schock? No, Robert Schock, who's a geologist from Boston University. And I don't know if this is interesting to anybody listening, but if you're interested at all in the history of this planet and the things that happened on this planet, 10,000 to 60,000 years ago, and ancient civilizations and not alien shit. I want to make that clear. This is not preaching about the aliens building the fucking pyramids shit. Who knows? But that's not what I'm getting at. If you're interested in history and like the real, I don't mean like the history of, the Renaissance and this and shit. I mean like the history of this fucking planet and the global weather, climate changes and cataclysms that have happened here. I don't know. Go check it out because I just had to say it on the show, man, because this shit has literally consumed me for 7 to 14 days. Anytime that I'm not with people or doing something for this show or watching wrestling or Formula One, I'm watching these guys talk about geology and Egyptology and how old is the Sphinx and Göbekli Tepe in Turkey and all these different ancient sites and listening to debates and I don't know. I'm going on a rant, but anybody interested in this kind of stuff, shoot me a DM because, I don't know, I think that's cool. And 2, go check it out. Just look up Joe Rogan, Graham Hancock, start with the first episode, and if you like that, then just fucking binge your way through anything Graham Hancock, Randall Carlson, and Robert Schock. Amazing stuff. I don't know. Had to get it out there, Don.
You should reach out to Jag. I know he listens to a lot of them rant. He listens, like, he'll listen more than me. Like, I don't mess with those, but he does. I know.
Okay.
Like, so him could shoot the shit about it for sure. Like.
Yeah. There's a few episodes, like, Joe Rogan's show, obviously, I mean, I've talked about it on here before, but it's so awesome because it's so different. Like, it's never the same.
Yeah.
You'll have an MMA guy, you'll have a comedian, and then you'll have a fucking Egyptologist.
Yeah.
Or you'll have a guy like Forrest Galante, a fucking wildlife conservation expert who actually was speaking in front of Congress this week. I was commenting all over his pictures because he was preaching stuff for the wildlife and he went to the White House. If you're interested in wildlife, any of that stuff, go, like, there's so many episodes, like one-offs, Colin O'Brady, Forrest Galante, fucking, there's wolf ones with stories of, what's the guy's name? Remy Warren. Or Sam Remy, I don't know, one or the other. Not maybe Remy Warren, but either way, I don't know. He does a fantastic job on that show, and yeah, maybe I will have to talk to Jag because those episodes, they just encapsulate me in like they take my brain on a journey, and it's like my brain just, I don't know how to explain it. I really wish, and I'm not trying to push it on you, but I wish, like, I got to try and find the right one to get you into, and then it'll just take that one thing where it's like, oh fuck. And you start putting the pieces together, and you're kind of like, what the fuck is this? No.
I mean,
like I said, I think
I'm ignorant. I guess
I'd have to find about the planet.
No, I just like I have very selective
interest.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just
I do too.
I will only listen to what I want to
listen to,
hear about. Like, I just don't have an interest in these things.
I hear you. There's a lot that can be gained from them in the sense of knowledge. Because I don't have any interest in, and we can talk about it, we both listen to it. I have zero interest in strongman competition.
Yeah.
But that guy, I can't remember his name right now. Something.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he's world's strongest man, I think in 2016 or 17. And he was on Joe's show last week, and I don't give a shit about working out or that stuff, but I thoroughly enjoyed that episode of his show.
Yeah, but see, that's in my ballpark of like.
No, but I'm just saying maybe like, sorry, that's all good. I don't enjoy that stuff, and I enjoyed that episode, whereas you might not enjoy this type of stuff, and who knows, you might enjoy the episode.
ADD.
You know what I mean?
I won't. Like, my mind will just wander. I might tune in for a second, but then I'll just.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, sorry.
No, not the ADD. Just
I'm looking forward to the Rob Zombie on Joe Rogan, though.
The blinders.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like, now we're getting into some Rogan-ness, but
well, that's fine.
It's like when
it is the round table.
It's like when I don't know. It's when you have that choice, I guess. It's like, when you're younger and you're taught stuff in school and you have to learn about things that you don't want to learn about or whatever, and you're just kind of there and it's like, fuck this. This sucks,
I hear you.
It's like, for me, like,
changed.
if there's something that does spark my interest, yeah, I'm totally tuned in. But if I have no desire at all, I'll just kind of tune out.
Yeah, I hear you. His show has made me interested in this shit that I never would have thought.
Yeah.
Like, if you would have told me, I would have watched 2.5 hours straight episodes with, like, Egyptologist, geologist, like, these guys. I wouldn't have told you that it was that interesting to me, but you get into one and then it's like, fuck, really? Like, just, I don't know. If you're not as interested in the whole ancient civilizations and like what happened, before us, like how kind of we got here in a sense, then I can understand. But it's that stuff really ticks,
You like it.
Yeah. It makes the gears turn for me as far as like, I want to know what the fuck was here. Like, what was right here where we're recording right now 1,000,000 years ago? Yeah.
See, and then me, I'm just like, I don't.
Not interested.
Yeah.
No. Hey, and that's to each his own. Like I said,
yeah.
Just wanted to bring it up on the show. I thought I'd let anybody know who's interested in that kind of shit. Check it out.
Rogan's awesome.
Oh, his show's incredible from all the way from MMA stuff, like I said, all the way through to everything. And anybody who's, not that I can see being new, but anybody who's new to the show and you're interested, like, hey, what's a couple, that sounds cool to me. Shoot me a DM and I'll give you a list of 5 to 10 episodes, full-length episodes that you should go watch. Because I don't know, I can give you a lot off the top of my head that are not all nature and wildlife, but just good shit. What else you want to get into here, Don?
Well, I mean, we could dive into some wrestle talk. We could dive into some
I was thinking
F1 stuff.
Yeah, well, before I get to that, we talked about SummerSlam in Toronto. We talked a little bit about the Raw reunion. We'll get more into it after. I think because I don't know where else we would be able to fit it in. There's two things I want to get to now before we kind of settle into the WWE talk and the Formula One update.
Yeah.
Two things. One, I want to get your opinion on the G1 climax.
Yes.
There might be three things with that look you just gave me. Two is AEW TV debut, October 2nd. It's official, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
It's official. I don't know. Let me tell you something, brother. Even though he wasn't there. No, who was there? I don't have any sound effects for.
I don't got a Jim Ross. Oh my God, it's okay. You know what we're talking
I do.
about.
I do.
Will you please? Yeah.
Please don't do this.
Please don't do this. But yeah. So it's official.
Yeah.
October 2nd, 2019, the Wednesday, head to head with NXT on TNT Network. AEW.
I'm excited.
I'm definitely excited. Yeah. I don't know how much of a frequent watcher I'm going to be.
Yeah, same.
It might be one of those things we keep on in the background. And I was thinking, because we're talking about switching the date of the when we record the roundtable and stuff. It might be one of those things where we end up recording while the show's on.
Oh, that'd be fun. And
that could kind of be a thing. I don't know. It's funny we're talking about this on air, but I had that idea earlier in the week. I was like, maybe if we switch the show to recording on Wednesdays, we could literally watch AEW while we record and kind of chime in throughout the show.
Yeah.
Anything really major that we feel like, is current.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I just thought that's, it's a big fucking deal that they're official. The two notable things, one more than the other one. One is they didn't go with a name. So I'm not seeing this Dynamite. Remember at one point they were floating around Tuesday Night Dynamite.
Yeah, they trademarked another one I heard about like a while back. A Wednesday. I can't remember
what
it was.
A Wednesday?
Honestly, it was some Wednesday's name though.
Wacky Wednesday.
Woo.
I don't know.
I'm sure Dean would love that.
I was waiting for that comment. Wacky Dean.
He's fucking big up, man.
Oh yeah, he's doing great right now. But no, I thought it was worth bringing up. Kudos to AEW. But the only other thing I found that was a little weird and funny, and I got to give Wade a little credit for pointing it out, but Brandy Rhodes and Cody were the two top people advertised for this show. And I just mean, like, come on. Like, how much do you really want to be Steph and Triple H?
What are you talking about? Which
like when the advertisement put out by TNT,
not the little commercial.
No, just like the presser, like saying like who's in the company, basically, like listing the people in the company. Like the first two names is Brandy Rhodes or Cody Rhodes and Brandy. Or Brandy, whatever. You know
Brandy Rhodes and Cody.
Yeah, Brandy Rhodes and Cody, because he's not Cody Rhodes. You can't say Cody Rhodes. Yeah, my bad. And then the Bucks, and then like tacked on at the end like Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho. It's like
Kenny.
Oh, Kenny's there too, but like not prominent.
Yeah.
It's nitpicking 101. Like by all means, I get that this is fucking peanuts. Doesn't matter. But it's just like it's so Stephanie and Triple H to me. Like it's so like. This is our shit.
Well, he is the throne breaker.
It's like, I don't know. They talk so much about like letting the other guys see what they can do. Yeah. It's like, well, I haven't seen that yet. It seems to be a lot about you. So we'll see. Like you said, I'm excited as fuck. I'm going to watch it. Mm-hmm. I would love to know the kind of ratings. I mean, we'll get that from Wade or whatever afterwards. I'm curious what it's going to look like. And then it's something, again, I'm bringing him up too much, but... Wait, just people being there. I think I want to talk a little bit about just being there, how awesome it would be to be at that first show.
Oh, yeah.
Because Wade talked about going to the first Nitro. And when he said that, I was like, wow, that's one of those things you're never going to forget. No matter what, if AEW lasts a year or if it lasts 10 years and fucking supersedes WWE, probably not going to happen. But you never know. Either way, any of these people that are going to that first taping, that first live show, I guess it's not a taping, it's a big deal. It's similar, I guess, to All In.
Yeah.
Is it All In? No. Yeah, All In. The first one they did. So that was like it was like
special,
a cultural special event. It was a big deal. It was the first time ever. So I feel like these other shows have been not as put up on quite the pedestal, which they shouldn't have been. But I don't know. I think that's kudos to any of the fans that are going to that first show, because obviously you're going to remember it forever. And they're going to put on a good fucking show. It's the first AEW show. They got lots of money. They got lots of writing capability and plenty of talent. So I'm not thinking for 1 second that show, whatever you want to call it, isn't going to be awesome.
Yeah, and it'll also be a little bit, well, I don't know. I assume they probably might do something in September, but it'll also be off the heels of the big August show, right? So that'll be interesting too.
Being what is it called?
All Out,
All
I
Out.
believe. Yeah. Yeah,
no, that is it. It slipped my mind there for a second. But yeah, so just wanted to bring that up. Actually, man, I'm all over the place tonight, but I got little note things I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Just about the ratings for Raw.
Okay.
So Raw did a good rating this week.
Yes.
I say good. I mean, good in the sense that better than the last 4 months. They've really, gone downhill. But I just wanted to put this into perspective for you, and I probably could have told you this off air, but it doesn't really matter. 15 out of the 16 weeks of episodes of Raw between January 2018 and April 2018. So 4 months in 2018. 15 of the 16 episodes of Raw had a better rating than the Raw review or Raw reunion. So it kind of shows you that, yeah, this is good now, but it really shows you the decline when those shows were on a year and a half ago and were doing better ratings than this Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Kelly, Ted, like this reunion show that was, let's be honest, this show was done to pop a rating.
Yeah.
There's no significance of having a reunion show in the middle of fucking July for no reason 3 weeks before SummerSlam. At least I can't think of a reason other than we need to get the fucking ratings going here. And we need to get, as much as I love that final segment, and we'll get to it later, but we need to get Stone Cold out there to remind everybody that this is the fucking family you love and keep watching us. No, but that's clearly what that was about. Like, I loved that segment, but Austin was definitely he was waving the WWE flag, as they say, hardcore at the end of that episode of Raw.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just thought that was a cool little random stat.
I'd be curious to know which episodes, like, what was going on in those.
I mean, we got to be honest, it is leading into Mania. So that was the only takeaway that I took from that stat is...
Oh, is that what it was?
Well, January to April would be leading into to WrestleMania, right? WrestleMania usually takes place at the beginning of April.
Yeah.
So those episodes leading in would have been like the build towards Mania 34, I guess. So, I don't know. Again, just little topics at the beginning of the show, but I'm going to hand the reins over to Don now.
What? Where are we going? Where are we going with this?
The G1 climax. I want to get some of your thoughts on the G1 climax so far.
I have been paying attention to certain guys in the tournament.
Yeah, and for anybody listening, just let me get this out now. I have not watched any of these matches. I do not know probably 75% of the wrestlers that are in this tournament, but I want to bring it up on our show. We're a pro wrestling podcast, and you've been keeping up with it. So,
yeah, I know. Our boy John Moxley is still going strong. He's undefeated.
Really?
Yeah, he's been kicking ass.
And it's not a tournament where you get knocked out. It's like a building up a record kind of thing.
Yeah, points.
Round robin type deal, or no?
Point system where you got the A block and the B block, and then the two guys at the end who have the most will meet in the finals.
Oh, okay. That's actually kind of
gets
cool.
the title shot at Wrestle Kingdom.
Gotcha.
But it's interesting that Okada, he's been in these the past few years. I feel like they throw the champ in there too, and I always wonder, and I don't know the history on this, if the champ has ever won the tournament and what happens in that case.
Yeah, I would be very curious to know,
I
because I got to be honest, I can't see Dean Ambrose. Like, I think
I'll give you Don's booking on this.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you think? Tell me.
I just think once we get to the end of August, that's it for Dean outside of AEW for a little while at least. At least for the beginning of that show coming on TV. I don't think you want to have one of your top stars, wrestling. And I know they've said that they want to allow people to wrestle outside of AEW, which is perfectly fine. But I don't think you want to have one of your top guys wrestling outside of the company in the first month that you're on TV trying to promote to new fans. You know what I mean?
You don't think Dean or Mox has really got a shot to win?
Not the New Japan, but it's based off of my AEW stuff, and I know AEW and New Japan do not have any ties. So,
well, you could think of it like this too: is that this tournament will end, I think like right at the end of August or early September. I was looking up the finals on earlier, and Wrestle Kingdom isn't until around
January
Rumble season. You know what I mean? Not to say that I think he's gonna win, but like you could win.
Yeah,
and you don't have to be there the whole time. You could just sporadically pop in
and then show up at Wrestle Kingdom. That would be crazy. Like to have a John Moxley main event Wrestle Kingdom would be. I'd be happy for him. Like that's incredible. Good for you. Fuck. But I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not. If I'm a betting man on this one, I'm not putting my money on Dean to go all the way and be that number one contender.
No, but at this point, my booking take on it would be that he probably, because he's undefeated still, and I don't think that's stopping anytime soon. I think he's gonna get some fuck job will happen in the finals. I think he will make it to the finals.
That I could totally see.
Yeah, and
when does the finals take place? At a specific pay-per-view, or is it just or not pay-per-view, but you know what I mean?
No, it's
special
like
event.
It'll be built pretty much around that, I would say. Yeah.
But like, is there a specific show that usually takes place at, or no?
Not to my knowledge, no. Okay. It's just they bill it as the finals, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then it happens sometime after the G1? Like,
yeah, well, it's really close. Like, it all just falls into line. Like, you have, I think, every other night, like, you'll get a couple of matches from each block, and then there might be, like, a little week of rest when we get to that point where we know who the finalists are, and then we'll get that final matchup.
Okay, so it all happens relatively quickly.
I had the date. I was trying to get it here. It's definitely, like, in early September or the end of August, though.
Okay.
Like it'll be here before we know it.
Is there any standout matches that you want to talk about before we move forward?
Well, it was the one with Moxley and before I hold on. Pump the brakes for a second. We gotta backtrack. This is we gotta backtrack here. And my boy fucking Kota Ibushi and Kenta, formerly Hideo Itami in
WWE
for
NXT.
The WWE fans, right?
Yeah.
Man, put on a fucking clinic. It was like one of the opening matches of the tournament, and it was crazy. They opened up with like.
Did you talk to me about this off pod, or did I hear this somewhere else? Because I heard that match was really good. I just don't know if it was you that told me, or if I listened to a show and they talked about it on the show. Because I listened.
No,
to
you
so
probably
much shit.
You probably heard it on a show. Yeah, I haven't talked about it yet.
Okay, yeah, because I heard good things about that match. So
yeah, and do you know who won already or?
No.
So maybe
watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, don't tell me. You don't have to tell me. It's not like I'm gonna.
Because see, for me, like,
how do I go about finding that?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, really? The full match.
Yep. English commentary too.
Wow.
I'm sure you can find Japanese if you like.
I could maybe even watch that after the show tonight.
Awesome match, man. And those two guys, just their styles mesh so fucking well. So that's definitely a standout for me.
Okay.
And man, like weeks went by for me, and I wasn't spoiled. Like I didn't know who won. So I got to go back and watch it on YouTube and get that excitement.
That's sick.
That's what I like about New Japan, or I will say main event WWE matches that I care about. I'm so like you can really get me at that point.
Like
if most times, like
if you don't know,
yeah,
like you're better at hiding. Like, what do you just throw them on fucking airplane mode and don't look at your phone?
I mean, like, get me in the sense of like I really don't know what's like who's about to win. As sometimes in WWE matches, like I smell a finish coming. You know,
pay-per-views are, I find, obviously harder to predict, but yeah.
That's why I said main event WWE matches.
Yeah.
Like we'll go back to AJ and Seth at Money in the Bank. I know, like, I didn't necessarily say AJ's gonna win the belt, but I wouldn't be surprised. And for a moment throughout that match, I was like, "Ooh, I don't know."
Oh no, totally, it happens, and that's my favorite part about professional wrestling.
For sure.
When I get to buy in that much that I'm sitting here thinking, wait, maybe he could win. And I'm trying to think. There's one that I know stands out, but I can't remember it. But the other one that's popping to my mind that's semi-recent, it was the Sami Zayn for the fucking WWE Championship. Man.
Oh, yeah.
That was the closest I think I've been on the edge as far as, like, is he going to win? But then, what did we get at the end of the match?
9:59, probably. I assume. One can only assume.
Yeah, the 9:59.
Which, we'll have a segment later about the 9:59. So,
yeah, that we will.
But yeah, standout match. Please go check it out. And honestly, man, you gotta see. Just pick any Moxley match and watch it, because this guy is just, I love it.
Killing it. I like the gear. I like that he's wearing trunks and no shirt and wrestling tights.
For me, as a guy who like was such a fan of watching that early shit before he was
like early Dean with the slick tear, and
like I'm happy to see this guy just like what he does when he lets loose. It's awesome. Like you can tell that he was so, caged in a set. Not like, but
I wouldn't use caged as much as like formed,
and, like
conformed, molded,
yeah, into
what they wanted him to be, and not at all. Obviously, I mean, from what I can tell, what he wanted to be doing.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because, like, you see, the guy could have he would have killed it. Like, you probably could have brought some more asses in seats.
Yeah, man. And I don't know. This is off, I guess, back taking a step back. But the interview that he did when he talked about what is that smell? What is that smell? And I just thought it was so funny that he hated that so much. Remember you making fun of it? The week that it happened?
Yeah, we were watching it, yeah.
Well, and then we came on the round table, and you were like, oh, what was that smell? What was it? And then it was so funny to me to hear him talking about how fucking ridiculous he thought it was, and they were going to put a fucking gas mask on him. He's like, no, I'll grab a handkerchief or something and fucking handkerchief and use that. I don't know. It brought me back to you saying, what is that smell? And when I heard him talk about it, because that whole run was not good. I didn't mind the Bane jacket, and I didn't mind the siren at the beginning of his music, but everything else could go.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were going to put him in a fucking hazmat suit, like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
But he is also still the U.S. champion, too, while this is going on in New Japan, so that's interesting as well, right?
That is true. Also, the first and only man to be the United States champion of WWE and the United States champion of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I seen that stat this week, and I was like, that is a cool little stat, especially because he's the only guy.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to see many guys hold both of those titles. I can't see that being a super... I mean, until that title's been around for a really long time, I don't see that happening often.
Yeah, no. But yeah, definitely. So some standouts. I'm rooting for Ibushi. I'm rooting for Mox. I wouldn't mind to see Kenta though in the finals either.
Yeah, what would your ideal final be? Kenta Mox? Are they in the same group?
No. So that's the thing. I believe that the potential dream matchup for me of Ibushi even and Moxley I think they're on opposite blocks if I'm not mistaken. So I'd be down for that.
Wow.
Stylistically, it's so like different.
Yeah.
But then again,
and they were both kinda in WWE. Kinda.
Ibushi's cup of coffee.
Yeah. Which is crazy to me, because now I can't picture him in a WWE, NXT 2 or whatever setting. I can't even. But the first time I ever saw him was there.
Yeah.
So it's just funny now that I've seen him so much not there that it's like I couldn't even picture that guy there. And I remember at the time, like, oh, why doesn't this guy want to sign? Like, why wouldn't you want to sign? But that's when I started liking TJ, and I picked TJ from the beginning of that fucking tournament. So. And
speaking of another gentleman who was involved in that,
the 205 Live tournament,
Zack Sabre Jr.
Yes,
he's not having a good run in the G1. He's got a pretty shitty record right now. I think he's only got a couple wins, but he's had a whole losing streak. I think he recently just got a win against Bad Luck Fale.
Okay. Do you know roughly how many matches they have before this is all said and done?
They were talking about it on commentary. It's a certain amount of weeks. I want to say like it's a 12.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. 10, 12, 5. Like what's the... I didn't know what the records end up looking like in the end. Is it kind of like a 5-5-1 or not? I guess there's no ties, but you know what I mean? Like a... Yeah, 10 to 12. It's fine. I don't need an exact number.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking of Mox and the amount of wins he's racked up. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the way it's going, unless this guy goes on a losing streak, he's probably going to the finals.
In the finals no matter what. What about Jay White? I heard he's like...
Oh, yeah, he's... I don't think he's got a win at all either.
I wonder what story they're telling there, because I don't think they're done with Jay White.
Oh, no.
But I'd be curious, like, what is this? Why? Like, I'm assuming it's going to lead to something, maybe him going crazy and leaving Bullet Club. I have no idea, but because he is still the quote-unquote leader of the Bullet Club, no? Him and Bad Luck Fale and those guys?
You know what? Honestly, I don't follow him, like,
enough
much. Like,
I hear you. I like him, though. I genuinely like him.
Yeah,
as far as character, wrestler, like I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan. Gonna go buy the T-shirt like we always talk about on the Look Back, but I definitely cheer for him.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's because I saw him like 2.5 years ago in like a pretty small Ted Reeve where you went with Mike. And
Yeah.
he was a U.S. champ. And it was like, oh, this is cool. And it was like one of the first times I ever saw New Japan live.
Yeah.
Or the first time. So I think I have like a little bit of a soft spot for him. But it's not like I went and got a picture with him. So I don't know, give and take, right? One more thing for you before we get to the F1 update, and then we're going to dive into the Monday Night Raw stuff. I don't really have a sound bite, but we're working on it. It's coming, whether it's next week or the week after, but we're starting a new segment here on the show. Don's Take.
Don's Take. Don's Take.
I want to get younger in that deep, younger voice to give me a Don's Take or something real, something real radio. Younger's got that radio voice. So.
Got that Adam Copeland.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
So basically, this is just a mini segment. Anytime Don's on the round table, we've done it a little bit on the lookbacks, I guess. But I'm going to ask him a question for his take on a certain topic it could be from the world of professional wrestling. It could be from Monday Night Raw specifically. It could be from AEW show. Mm-hmm. Impact. We know Donovan watches a decent amount of Impact.
He does.
It could be anything. But this week, seeing as how it was the Raw reunion.
Yes.
Seeing as how Donovan is a young black male.
Yes.
I wanted to get his thoughts on Hulk Hogan coming back to Monday Night Raw. And the reception maybe that he got, good and or bad.
Can you hit the drop for me one time?
Which one?
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that for you. But I'm just curious on your opinion, because I can't speak to the same topic as in the way that you could. Mm. But I've listened to shows, again, and it's the last time I'll bring them up tonight, I swear. But Wade Keller's Monday Night Show. Cameron Hawkins is a guy who works for the PW Torch. They do like a show called the East Coast Cast on the side. Mm-hmm. He's a black male. Wade had asked him to come on the show.
Yeah.
He was not planning on watching because of Hulk Hogan.
Ooh.
Like he had already written that he's like, I'm not watching this show. This guy doesn't think I'm worthy of a human, then I'm not fucking watching him.
Gee.
So obviously he had to end up watching because he was on Wade's show doing the review show. So that all worked out. He watched the show, whatever. But I want to know from your perspective, does that even cross your fucking mind at all? Do you throw it under the rug, or is it one of those things where he's always going to be kind of tainted forever, but you can deal with it?
Yeah, it's a sticky one.
For sure, definitely.
I believe we danced around this, I think, maybe
once
I don't
a long
know,
time ago.
Maybe even if it was off pod or...
I can't remember either.
When it all happened, or just us joking around, but it's like because for me, like, as you know, like I used to watch a lot of the Hogan, Warrior, Savage,
early
Rude,
stuff.
that era of VHSs as a kid, like a lot.
Yeah, renting them like you told me. Yeah.
And I've said this to you before that I really feel like Hogan is like really like the last of the fucking Mohicans in a sense, like
from that era.
Slaughter's around. Like there's not a lot of guys, DiBiase, but as far as like that level of
maybe a Bob Backlund, maybe. I know what you mean, though.
But, like, that Savage, Warrior, those
top Kurt Hennig.
Boss Man, those guys are all gone, man.
Yeah,
all
Rick
dead
Rude.
and gone. And so for me, like, every time I would see Hogan in the past, it's like kind of it's nice
to see him still around, yeah.
Because it's like, oh, there's one of the guys, but at the same time, he was never one of my personal favorites, too. So that's always there where I'm like, it's nice, but I always think of the other guy. I was like, damn, I wish Mach was here. I would like to see you know what I mean? Or,
of course,
Warrior.
Yeah. It sucks that they never really got to smooth out that relationship.
Yeah.
Randy Savage and him passing away, obviously, suddenly and tragically, before any of that was able to be kind of worked out with Vince and WWE.
There's a few of those like that I could speak on, but on the Hogan thing, yeah, man, it's weird. It's still weird, I don't know if it's ever gonna be just okay again. Like,
so you can
I can deal with him. I'm not gonna be one of those guys who says I'm not gonna watch, but like I don't really care to see him at this point, and there's always that stank. That stank is always gonna be there for me. Like when I see him now, it's just like, yeah, there he is, but
Yeah.
That's not gonna. It's just not gonna go.
So
away.
it's more what
there.
I was saying in the sense that you can watch him, you can deal with him on TV, but he's always gonna be. There's always gonna be whatever you want to say, a little asterisk or a little star or a little tainted.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah, the stank will always be there
because you know the things that he said, and it's like the shit that he said after. I think is almost worse because he was talking about the fact that like I didn't know I was being recorded, and it's like. You're kind of throwing yourself under the bus there, man. Like, that doesn't make it any better. Like, that's kind of worse.
Yeah.
You know?
And other things of, well, we all used to say it. Back road.
Exactly. It's just like,
it's
don't.
Like, just stop. Yeah,
that's maybe something you say when you're at the fucking dinner table with some people. Like, you don't, and I don't mean the word. I mean, like, it's something we used to say is, like, that's not something you say on fucking,
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it was something that your grandfather said, because in his time it was whatever. Mm-hmm. It's not something that should be fucking brought up, especially with somebody who was an icon to children all over the fucking continent and the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. The stank is just, it'll always be there. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that can be our drop for the Don's take.
Maybe. Little F1 update. Had a long one last week.
Ride along.
With Will. Ride along.
I'm just saying, like.
You're going to ride along?
Ride along.
Yeah. German Grand Prix this week. Nothing to talk about from last week because we were just previewing kind of the German and talking a little bit about the British Grand Prix that happened the week before. I love this track. Again, I think I talked about it a little bit last week with Will, but if you're somebody who ever jumps on a simulator or does anything, racing related, and you know that this track, it's super fun to drive. Not that I've driven it in real life, but I get as close as I can with the simulators, and it's a fun layout. It's one of the original kind of old school tracks, but it's also been tweaked. So there's sections of it that are kind of overgrown now with grass and where the track used to be, and then they've chunked it off and created kind of a new track with parts of the old track. So it's cool. Me being a big Mercedes fan, this is a really cool weekend for them because Mercedes obviously German. This is their 200th Grand Prix, which doesn't seem like a lot for how long Formula One is, but Mercedes kind of wasn't around for a long time in the sense that they were just supplying engines. They weren't actually a factory team producing a car. Mm-hmm. Whereas since 2010, I believe, Michael Schumacher came back. I think it was 2010 when they came back. So 200th Grand Prix since then. And it's also 125 years of Mercedes-Benz motorsport racing. So they're making a big deal. I showed you the picture before we hit record. I kind of wanted you to know a little bit as far as what I was talking about. But they have a super cool livery or paint job, if you're not familiar with the term, for the car this week with kind of like the white front of the car looking all white like the traditional Mercedes of the 50s.
Yeah, it was nice.
With the red numbering kind of shaving off and looking like it was getting peeled back and having the new car be underneath it. Super cool idea from a graphic standpoint and a paint job and all that kind of stuff. So,
and that's only for this particular.
Just
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
just for this weekend. Special livery, like I said, as they call it, paint job in Formula One or racing is kind of the term they use. But yeah, special one-off because, like I said, the three things, the fact that the 200th Grand Prix lines up with the German Grand Prix, and they're German, obviously.
Yep.
And then the 125 years of Mercedes-Benz motorsport. There's a super cool picture. This is maybe getting a little too detailed, but on the top of the halo, they have the Mercedes logo. And the way they did it is like the paper, the white part looks like it's being teared off. Half of the logo is the traditional Mercedes-Benz logo that you might know from back in the day, and then the other half is just the star, like the current, the AMG.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so it was a really cool touch to kind of have both of them on there. I thought that was really sweet. They only actually released that like today, the day we're recording, Thursday. So practice will be tomorrow morning. I'll either watch that or listen to it or catch it after work. So if you're listening to this now, like I said, practice would be on now. Or already happened, depending on obviously when you listen to the show. But like I said, classic track, Mercedes with the nice livery. Haas F1. I don't even know what to say. You weren't here last week for me to kind of give you the updates on it. But so this is an American team with a Ferrari engine. They buy parts from Ferrari. They've only been in Formula One since 2016. Their sponsor is an energy drink company called Rich Energy.
Okay.
Black car with gold.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, Rich Energy essentially dropped Haas. They said, we will no longer be sponsoring them. Bro, if I can't, I don't have enough time right now, dead air and whatnot, but to show you the tweet, to think that the tweet that they sent came from a professional company, like with, a board of directors, probably in some kind of structure and company business, they basically said, like, oh, we can't compete with Red Bull, so we don't want to compete with them anymore. And it's like, you can't beat Red Bull, so we don't want you anymore, and this and that. And it's kind of like, who the fuck do you think you are? First of all, Red Bull's a 4-time world champion, constructors and drivers. Yeah. And it's Red Bull, and they've been around for 15 fucking years, if not more. And Haas's car, for one, isn't being designed by Adrian Newey, who's the aerodynamicist for Red Bull, who's maybe the biggest genius in Formula One as far as aerodynamics go. Separate topic altogether. But, like, how can you expect to compete with a team that's been competing for wins in the last 3 years, and you haven't even been competing for podiums? I don't know what they expected, what kind of jump they expected Haas, because this is a new sponsorship deal that just started this year.
Yeah.
I don't know what they expected in the first 7 races that Haas was going to be competing with Red Bull and beating Red Bull, but fucking stupid, man. I can't even articulate it well enough in audio, but it's fucking stupid-ass company to go and treat a Formula One team that's been busting their ass to do well, and they haven't had the best of seasons, and they've had a bit of runnings into each other with some of the drivers, and the car maybe not having quite the race pace that it needed, but fuck, man, like, you can't just dump your team and say, oh, well, you can't compete with Red Bull, so we don't want you. It made no sense to me. So, and now there's all the bunch of rumors about Haas maybe getting new drivers, and one of the guys I like, Esteban Ocon, might be coming in, so I'm excited about that, but it's all rumors, and I don't expect them to just say, yeah, well, now we're firing both of our drivers. It's probably not something that you'll see after they lose their sponsorship deal. But yeah, other than that, I guess I'll move into it really quick. Lando Norris, I hope he can keep it up. This is another young kid, literally kid, racing for the McLaren F1 team. He races, funny enough, I'll tell you this because it's kind of a cool story. Max Verstappen is the guy that I talked about.
Yeah, I know the name.
You remember the name? Yeah. So he was the guy for Red Bull. Him and Lando are buddies outside of Formula One. They race on the same, they do what I do, like the sim racing stuff. A little more competitive in iRacing PC, just more expensive, really. They're on a team, and they were competing they're on a team together in online racing. So they were competing, doing a race. I think they were up like a lap and a half or something. And Max Verstappen's brake, like his physical brake on his sim rig, broke. So he didn't have a brake to use, so he had to put the car back to the pits, and then Lando Norris, obviously wherever he was at his house, jumped in his turn to get back in the car, finished off the race, and they still won by like a lap or something, 20 seconds or something like that. But I just thought it's cool maybe for you, semi-casual fan now. I don't know, I'm going to get you to watch a race before the end of this season.
Yeah, no, I will, yeah.
To see like two guys that are on separate $1 million Formula One teams working together to play video games, and then having a thing like that where the pedal breaks and you've got to kind of use your real life skills to be able to get the car back home. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool.
No, it's funny to hear about too. Like, how many guys, you think do that kind of thing in their spare time? Probably not a lot.
The driving or the hanging out with another team?
Both. As far as like a sim racing thing, I don't know. Is that a big
Well, the
thing,
sim racing thing, I think the biggest reason that these guys are into it is because they're younger. You have some of the older drivers, they didn't grow up playing these video games. Some of them did, but not as much, whereas Max Verstappen is 21 and Lando Norris is like 20 years old. So these guys are still kids, literally. But as far as teammates hanging outside of the F1 weekends, I think a lot of the drivers live in Monaco. So some of those guys, like Lewis and Hülkenberg and Daniel Ricciardo and different guys who all live in the same city, I'm sure they mingle and talk here and there. I think Lewis is a bit of does his own thing because he's in the States a lot anyway. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't happen, I guess, too often, but cool that they were, I don't know, especially being somebody myself who does a lot of sim racing. Yeah. It was cool to see F1 drivers doing sim racing and showing the sim racing guys like, hey, fuck you. We're F1 drivers. We are going to destroy you. And not that they will every time, because there's a hell of a lot of good sim racing drivers out there, but I just thought, again, I thought it was cool. Something to bring up in the F1 update. Last little thing, Racing Point, I only wanted to bring it up because they're a Canadian team. They're supposed to be getting a huge upgrade this week. This is the pink team for anybody that watches it. And they're new this year. They bought out Force India last year, became Racing Point. Canadian owner Lance Stroll's dad. Lance Stroll's a driver. His dad's the one who purchased the team, and he's got his son driving there. Kind of weird. Not the best guy on the grid, and he's, his dad's a billionaire, bought a team, and now his son races for him. So it's not something that you're super passionate about as me being a Canadian. Like, yeah, let's cheer for this guy whose dad got him the seat. Anyway, they're getting some upgrades, so they're supposed to be significantly better than they have been because they haven't really been upgrading the car through it this season. It's kind of, they've been waiting till this race to bring all their updates kind of more at once.
Okay.
So it should be good. Moving on, I guess, very quick. Next race will be in Hungary, the Hungaroring Grand Prix, on August 2nd to 4th. I'll talk about it next week, obviously, in the F1 update, but this one, just a little quip. They always call it Monaco without the barriers. I feel like I can't bring up Hungary without saying Monaco without the barriers because it's a very fast-paced, flowing track, not a lot of passing opportunities, and it's like Monaco without the barriers. That's it for the F1 update there, Donnie. Yes. Donnie Brasco. I don't know how much of Monday Night Raw. I know you watched a lot of the highlights and everything, but I literally have like the whole show here kind of on my notes. I don't think we should get into everything unless you want to. Maybe just kind of touch on some of the more major stuff. Yeah,
and stuff that you liked. You can ask me shit. I basically, I was out late. I was recording late, super late, and I came back at like 2 a.m, and I was hungry as fuck. So I took some time. Like, I was on YouTube, this one channel. I don't know.
I think you told me about this a couple weeks ago. They combined the whole show into like a 20-minute, half an hour.
Honestly, you know what happened though, dude? When this is how sick. I don't know if this is good. When it came to Seth Rollins and shit, like I really like had this. I was like, yeah.
You weren't feeling so well.
Well, I was watching this highlight package more to get the segments. Like I'm not gonna really watch the highlight of a match as much, when it's just, unless it's gonna be like super.
Yeah, quick. No, I hear you. Match highlights have never been my favorite. Even the only ones that I can literally sit there and watch and feel like I kind of got something from it are the PWG ones, because those they do a really good job of giving you a feel for what the match was. Basically, all they take out is the selling.
Yeah, and him and DX, man. I didn't like Seth's little thing. I didn't like that.
Oh, and how like the club were buddies with DX at Raw 25. And
yeah, well, I thought of that immediately. It's hilarious that you brought that up.
And now they don't like each other.
Yeah, they were all fucking.
Everybody, too sweet, club, everyone. But AJ was a babyface then, right? So
still.
So yeah, we
remember things as fans, okay?
That we do, but I don't know if the big dog, or I can't say that. I don't know if the big man upstairs there, Vince McMahon,
the big dog,
realizes that.
Yeah,
but. So we talked about it before. John Cena opened the show. I thought that was awesome. He came out with the Usos. I thought it was pretty funny that he brought up the fucking mug shots and shit. That was a little wild. You appreciate it?
I've said it before to you, man. Like, I think, the absence makes the heart grow fonder, and like I fucking, it sucks.
Oh, the fans.
The
fans definitely let him know.
Yeah, I want him back, like around, like, so, because it's like, man, some of these guys, like, you really don't realize what you got till it's not around. Like, some of these guys, a lot of guys can't deliver, man. Like John Cena, bro, he's.
Oh yeah, my biggest thing is there's nobody other than like maybe Adam Cole and Kevin Owens, who is even close to the way that these guys used to be able to speak on the microphone.
Oh, like that flawlessness, yeah.
Yeah, just that being able to go out there with no fucking script and be fine.
Yeah.
And I'm not like Mr. I hate the scripts. Like, I don't mind having some structure on your television show, but I also appreciate when the guys who can really speak and that they're just speaking can do that.
It's not only that, but also it's the, like, you know about this a lot. You're an OG Chain Gang.
Yeah, fucking right,
it's
bro.
It's the classicness of like, oh fuck it, like it makes us feel older now. Like John Cena, man, he ain't around. Like,
yeah, oh yeah, and even I've seen it even from the time when I got back into wrestling in 2015 when he was around and he won the U.S. title, and obviously everybody was, but I still remember, man, looking forward to that U.S. Open Challenge every week. That was my favorite part of Raw.
Yep.
And I think the reason it was my favorite part was that the shock factor of really not knowing who, and then getting these fucking classics with guys like Cesaro and shit that you wouldn't expect to have. Not that Cesaro can't, it's just you don't expect him to be given the spotlight to have 15-minute classic with John Cena on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, go listen to our U.S. title look-back show.
Yeah, go check it out.
We touched on all that good stuff.
That we did. And then we got the Revival with Devon.
Yeah, yeah. That's weird, right?
Odd. I think it's obviously because Bubba Ray's tied up with ROH and he respectfully declined. Couldn't make it over to Raw, whatever. But I just, really?
I'll tell you what, is that when I seen Devon with him, I'm like, okay, for one, I was like, this is fucking weird, right? You got Quiche. Big Quiche was there. Rikishi.
Okay,
with his kids, you know what I mean? And then the choice of, it was weird that it was him. Like, you couldn't put someone else. You know who?
Who?
Well, I don't know. I could have done Ted DiBiase. I could have done Jimmy Hart. Like, you know, you could have done some cool shit with this.
Yeah, I guess
even if it was just for a little thing.
Because they didn't have a match. We all thought that there was going to be a 6-man tag match with the Usos, Cena versus Revival and
I didn't think
and fucking Devon.
John Boy was
doing
any legwork
because of the movie stuff.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't.
Probably can't.
Yeah, it's crazy. It sucks. But
one day.
I was expecting it though.
One day.
One day what?
We'll get another last hurrah.
Oh yeah, we'll get hopefully. I hope it's more than one more big match.
No, yeah, I'm hoping for a little,
6-month run.
Yeah, or some type of good programming with one guy in particular, maybe.
Is he ever gonna beat Flair's record though? Probably not, eh? Or is he tied right now? Is he at 15 or is he at 16?
No, I think they're tied.
He's at 16.
Yep.
Because he's won it since he had that 15 times T-shirt. You remember the shirt with the 15 on the back and the
kinda
orange?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're tied.
That's crazy.
Wait,
yeah, so I don't know if he'll ever beat that.
Watching that segment, I was hoping that someone was like Devon might have turned on them, and then one of the Usos would have been like Devon, like they could have done. I thought that was coming. Maybe Rikishi like Devon,
get the table,
and but nah.
No, I think Devon was just around.
Yeah,
and they were like, okay.
I think he works backstage. Actually.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I think he was probably just around, available, and they were like, well, Devon, if you want to be on Raw tonight.
But bruh, I don't want to harp on this too long. Imagine Jimmy Hart coming out with the Revival and shit, like wearing a jacket like a Revival.
Oh, that would have been
their faces. Like
he was there too, was he not?
Yeah,
he was around. Yeah, that would have been awesome. There was another guy, and I talked about him earlier tonight. But like guys like Bob Backlund, I'm surprised he wasn't around too, because it's not like he's too old to be.
He's just
crazy. Yeah, okay, and I know I said I wouldn't bring it up again, but Wade said he should have been in the 24/7 stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Bob Backlund definitely should have won that 24/7 title at least once.
Yeah,
that would have been fine. And I just had to get that in there because I didn't, it's not my idea. But I'm going to move quickly through. Tell me if I'm going too slow. Booker T on commentary. I thought that was pretty dope.
Yep. I like the Booker. You know that.
Of course. Get Booker out there. And then we had Tori Wilson with your boy, Santino Marella, backstage.
Yeah, the little thing, right?
Cool, yeah. He had the Cobra in his hand. He was touching people's faces. I think Jillian was back there, and I didn't recognize her until like 3 days later. And I'm like, who is that blonde chick? But then again, Caitlyn was there too, and I didn't book that it was Caitlyn until I listened to a podcast and they talked about it.
I missed her.
Missed that segment, yeah. So they were there, and then Drew walked over and kind of just looked at them, legends, and then kept walking away. Which I don't know if they're supposed to be legends, but I liked that Santino was there, and I liked that they didn't give him anything too stupid. Because he even said on Aftermath last week, Aftermath TV, Canadian show that's on Sportsnet before SmackDown up here, they were asking him, like, what are you going to be doing? He's like, oh, probably something stupid or probably something, like some... He basically said, like, they're probably going to have me run out there in, like, a dress or so. I don't know what he said, but he basically, like, said he wasn't anticipating him to be doing anything very exciting. So I was happy that they had him in a suit, looking proper. It's not like he was, Santina or whatever the fucking... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His sister or whatever that was. I didn't watch that. But... And then Drew beat up Cedric, not the best. That was pretty quickly. It happened. Seeing the Boogeyman backstage, I always liked the Boogeyman.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to see him. And I watched him, like, debut, I want to say. It's like I watched that era of Boogeyman, like his prime before he became, like, funny Boogeyman, I guess, later in his career, you know what I mean? Because at the beginning, he was still fucking scary, man, and, like, everybody was scared. They would act around him the way people are with The Fiend right now, Bray Wyatt stuff. They took it serious. Rush me along if I'm taking too long. No. And then Pat Patterson. This was maybe one of my favorite moments of the fucking night. Patty P wins the fucking 24/7 title Was it R-Truth that he beat it from? I think it was R-Truth because that was our first title change of the night, right? Or had Drake won? No, they showed a clip from earlier in the night, which was super cool because Max Scoville, who's a guy that I got a picture with, he works at IGN. They did a title change on the IGN.
Oh, at Comic-Con, yeah.
And Max Scoville, who's a guy, he's a podcaster and comedy guy. Anyway, I've followed him for years, so it was cool to see him on the TV too. Drake got R-Truth with a pin on that TV show. And then I think Pat Patterson pinned Drake, like I said here. I thought that was fucking amazing, super cool. After that, we got Christian on commentary, which I don't remember hearing much of him. I think it was because there was a lot of commotion when we were watching the show. But
what match? Do you remember what match? I'm trying to think if.
Viking Raiders. I would imagine. Yeah. And then Lillian Garcia.
Yep.
Doing the entrance, which was fucking amazing and really gave me nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like, I know she's been around since I was like in 2015. She was still there. She was still doing Monday Night Raw. Yep. So it's not like I haven't seen her in years, but
I'm pretty sure she was at the women's pay-per-view as well.
Yes, she was at the women's pay-per-view, and she may have come back to do a WrestleMania song or something like that. But I don't know. It was cool to hear Lillian giving her doing.
She always looks great too. Yeah?
Oh, fantastic, and great podcast. Yeah. Talked about it earlier.
Definitely.
Viking Raiders, War Machine, Heavy Machinery. What was their name in New Japan?
Wait, who are you? Were you
those guys? That's the man of a million names.
Vikings. The Vikings. I can't remember.
Viking
now.
Raiders is the new name. Heavy Machinery. No, that's the other guy.
Heavy Machinery is fucking boot.
Yeah. They had a match against not Heavy Machinery. Sorry, the Viking Raiders had a match against Ryder and Hawkins. I don't know why. I mean, I guess. Hey, you guys want to be on the reunion show? Yeah. I don't know.
That's why Christian too. I guess.
Why? Maybe they buddies with them?
No, but like the whole Edgehead thing, like he kind of and it was tag team, so he's a tag team guy.
I guess that makes sense. I was wondering why Edge wasn't there, but probably because of prior arrangements with filming or whatever. Because is he still doing the Viking stuff?
That would have been good.
No, he's on the show.
Yeah, Vikings. I know, but that's the funny.
Oh yeah, I didn't even book that. That's crazy. Yeah. Fucking Viking Raiders, Vikings versus the Raiders coming up in Monday Night Football. Eric Bischoff with Eve Torres, who I don't remember seeing much of, to be honest.
Another one looking.
She was looking great, but I just didn't watch much of her era.
Yeah.
And isn't she's married to
Gracie.
Gracie, which is kind
one
of
the
cool.
Gracie boys.
And I feel like I've heard her on a podcast. Or no, there was a table for three that she did with like a Kelly and somebody else. It was actually pretty good, I got to be honest. Better than I expected. It was on and I left it on.
I don't think you would have watched much of her era, but I remember when I kind of got back into wrestling and her being around, she always stood out to me because she was one of the girls, not that diva. There was all them divas.
Wasn't so modelly.
And she could actually go though. Yeah, she was one of the girls who she could go, and she got better
as time
went on. But she was pretty good though. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And then we had Jerry Briscoe low blowing. I think he low blowed Pat Patterson or something. I can't remember who got it from who, but Jerry Briscoe got it. And then, it might have been the Boogeyman attacked Pat Patterson, and then Jerry Briscoe got it from him, or I can't remember. I'm getting confused, but no, you know what it was? The Boogeyman attacked Drake, and then that's how Pat got it from Drake.
Yeah.
And then somehow Jerry got it from Pat, but then Kelly walked around the corner, and holy crap, she was looking good that night. And she kicked fucking Jerry right in the nuts, and she becomes the new 24/7 champion. I loved all this shit.
Yeah.
Because I think it's because for once we've had them build to something. Because this title, I assumed at the beginning we would be getting this every week. What we had on the reunion, I thought we were going to get this kind of shit happening every fucking week on Raw. But again, I didn't see the the hardcore title in its prime, and I don't really know how they treated that back then.
Briscoe and Patty?
No. In the sense that, was that title changing hands 5 times every Raw, or no? Probably.
Oh, yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe, okay. Either way, cool to see Kelly win the 24/7 championship. And then we got Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. Samoa Joe, all I wrote was he was screaming at everybody doing normal Samoa Joe things on the microphone.
The first half of his promo I enjoyed.
Yeah?
It seemed like coming from an honest place almost too, where he was kind of saying that, you guys cheer these guys from yesteryear and this and that, and what about the people of today? And
yeah.
They're all like, that was kind of funny to me that he was.
Did he bring up anything about, like, and I don't mean this to be a joke, I'm serious, like the fact that he lost and he's trying to turn something around and
I don't think
change his ways, because he's really floundering right now as far as like wins and loss record in the last 5 matches.
And I'm telling you, dude, I think he won like a number 1 contender match somewhere. And
Yeah,
I don't know
you
what's
said that to me
going
off
on.
pod
Yeah, like he won an IC title
at some
contender
point.
match.
That's weird.
Who has the US? Oh yeah, my boy.
Ricochet. No, AJ, because he beat Ricochet.
No, he won the IC. He won something a couple weeks ago.
Some kind of number 1 contendership match. Well, he didn't win nothing in this match because he got beat by Roman Reigns relatively quickly with a spear. I thought that this maybe could have been built up a little more. Like I'm not coming around on Roman Reigns, but like I understand his significance in the company and where he's portrayed and where he's positioned, and because they haven't actually been too in our face with him lately, and I don't mind it. But I feel like they could have hyped this up next week or maybe made this be a bigger deal. Then again, maybe they were like, you know what, we have a lot of not filler, but like a lot of fluff on the show tonight. Maybe we should give them a hardcore good wrestling match between 2 guys that we know can go. So I don't know, maybe that was their thought.
But was it hardcore and good?
It was
was it like, what was this on real time? Because I just seen a little, like, it was quick, right? Wasn't it?
It was, I would say, 10 minutes.
Okay.
So it wasn't
normal.
It was just a typical, like it was probably the best match of the night, even because it wasn't a night full of great matches.
Yep.
So I would say it was probably the best one. And then we had Sami Zayn backstage chirping all the fucking legends and saying, like, it was actually quite funny. He just sounds like any of the fans who chirp that older crowd. Like,
I'm a fan of this character. He's funny.
Oh, Sami Zayn is
smug,
incredible.
Because he's that guy. Like, you just want to
punch him in the face. Yeah.
And I love the idea of him and Ray as some type of feud.
Well, honestly, that's what I was just getting to that. So Ray kind of piped up and said some stuff, and then we got our boy. No, you don't remember? Kurt Angle came in to break him up.
You know how we settle things on.
When I was the general manager on Raw, we used to settle it in the ring.
He used to say that, though, too.
He did. He did. And I'm happy that they, at least, we remember.
Should have got Luther Reigns.
But as soon as I seen Kurt, I'm like, oh, man, here we go. GM Kurt's back. Not forever.
What was that? The cops.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
They should have Luther Reigns, like, push him in or something, maybe. No?
Oh, I'm sorry. I needed something to fill the air as I fucking... Oh, my God. I forgot about that cops thing in Kurt Angle. Because Kurt Angle, one of my favorite, if not my favorite wrestler of all time, but probably my least favorite general manager of all time. I didn't even watch Vicky Guerrero, but I think I can confidently say that I probably would have enjoyed more Vicky Guerrero as general manager than I did the Kurt Angle stuff. Again, my own personal opinion, but moving forward, like you said, Sami Zayn, Rey Mysterio go at it, have a little match. I can't remember actually who got the win, to be completely honest. I want to say Rey Mysterio. That would make the most sense. But I think it was because a bunch of guys came out, RVD looking stoned and looking like a fine wine.
See, let's go.
Let's get into it. Did you not see the picture of him? He looks like
but you don't. I think it's because you
Grandpa.
don't see him. Like I've seen him.
I told you
recently.
The only time I've really seen him, as aside from his Instagram and him with all his models, lucky motherfucker, is he was on the Taz show. He did a live sit-in when Taz did the show every day when it was the Taz show, and he sat in with Taz. And I remember because that was when I would watch some of Taz's show live. And he didn't look too... And everybody's getting older. I mean, I look fucking older than I did 5 years ago. But I just mean, I really noticed it when he walked out on that stage. I was like, whoa, he's got the Vince McMahon bags under his eyes, and he's looking very aged. And I said to you off pod, he said it in an interview.
Yeah.
I was high almost every time I was on Raw.
Yeah.
So I feel like he was keeping tradition. And then the segment we got later with Dawkins was insane.
With who, sir?
Angelo Dawkins, the guys from, I can't remember, what are they called? The guys you're not big fans of with the red solo cups, the NXT champions.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if
No, I'm coming around on the one, dude. I like the one guy.
The skinnier one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Carlton. Yeah.
Carlton. Jeez. So the other guy, I actually can't remember. I don't know which one's
Street
Anthony.
Profits.
Yes, that's their name. I should know the name, the NXT champions. And I'm jumping ahead, but I have to now because... I forgot. What was I even saying? Jesus.
We were talking about Van Dam.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So Van Dam and being stoned on Monday Night Raw. I don't know if they put this into the little 20-minute clip that you saw, but the skinnier one, Carlton, I can't remember his fucking name. One of them's name is Angelo Dawkins. I just don't know which one's Angelo Dawkins and who's the other guy. He's walking around looking for his buddy, and he finds him, and Buddy's putting in eye drops. And he's like, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh, I was just hanging out with RVD. And he was coughing. Like, he walked up, and he's like, and then he put in eye drops. He's like, oh, I was with RVD. He's like, what? Great. You're with RVD? And then, like, they were shooting back and forth. He's like, yeah, I was hanging out with Boogeyman. And he's like, Pat Patterson just called me. And he's talking about, all like, hanging out with all the legends. Yeah. And the one guy that you said you like, he's kind of looking at him like, oh, my God. Like, eyes wide, beady-eyed, you know what I mean? Mouth open, like he couldn't believe it. And then his buddy's like, I got to go meet somebody. I can't remember who he said. I got to go meet DiBiase. So that was, I don't know. I couldn't believe that they brought up the fact that he was hanging out with RVD. He was putting in eye drops and coughing like he was smoking weed. But moving on, I guess I'll try and move quicker through this, Don. I know I'm being pretty nitpicky through it. But Candice Michelle, I know you don't know much about Candice Michelle because she was from my era. But we had, I want to say, Candice Michelle, Melina, and Naomi were all having a chit-chat with each other. And then, you know Melina.
Yeah, no,
obviously.
I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That kind of, yeah,
Bravo.
gotcha. And Kelly walks up with her new title.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, look what I got, this and that. And she's like, oh, that's so cool. And then it was all a ruse because Maria had the fucking referee outfit on under her shirt. She rips it off and fucking, I think it was just a roll-up for Candice Michelle. She gives her the 1, 2, 3, and then she did her little Candice Michelle spin, which I know what it means, or not what it means, but like I know it's her thing. It's like the Randy Orton fucking throwing up his hands in the air. That's her thing.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking, like, how many people don't know what the fuck she's doing right now and are wondering why she's spinning around really slowly like a stripper? And it's just, it doesn't fit in the era of women's wrestling that we're in now. I just was watching it going like, I wonder how many people get this. Because I get it, but I watched that Candice Michelle era.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You didn't watch much.
I can't even put a face to her, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow, that's good. No, it's just,
I know her name. Her name jumps out.
It's like me before in the last few years, I didn't know Caitlyn. I didn't know Eve Torres. Like I get it. It's just, she's such a part of my wrestling nostalgia.
Yeah.
That it's hard for me to even think about a time when she wasn't there. Like I thought she was there a lot longer. Clearly not. But and then the coach came out on commentary. That was pretty cool. Sergeant Slaughter came out, like I said, with RVD and Kurt Angle and the Hurricane in the Sami Zayn Rey Mysterio match, kind of to distract Sami Zayn. Like I said, he got the win there. And then Ric Flair, they kind of showed him on the screen, just saying, woo, he's going to be here tonight. I thought he was going to be up next, so that's kind of why I wrote it in my notes, but then we didn't see him. And then Alundra Blaze comes out.
Yeah.
And I think Alundra Blaze might have gotten the title from Candice Michelle. I can't remember 100% how she got it from Candice Michelle, but she might have just took it. Like straight up just took it from Candice Michelle and said, this is mine now. But she came out on stage to do the whole dropping it in the garbage can thing, and then Ted DiBiase came out, offered her some money. He buys the title back from her. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, I love,
good to mix Ted in there, and
the fact that he
just randomly walks out. He's got a little fucking suit on with the dollar sign. They look like they ironed on there 3 minutes ago. I don't know. I was watching. I'm like, that suit looks so bad. I'm sorry, but Jerry Lawler on commentary after that, which was nice to have Jerry back. It's good to see he didn't respectfully decline.
I didn't catch that one.
Yeah, he did the commentary for the AJ and Seth match.
Okay. Which
I talked about earlier. Maybe this might have been the best match of the night, better than the Roman Joe.
That's what it is, yeah.
I don't know. The match was really good. The club. What is this fucking
OC?
Yeah. What the fuck is that?
It's OC, bro.
But what does it mean?
Original club.
Is it the original club?
Yeah.
I guess. No, but they said it.
Orange County? I don't know.
That's what I was trying to remember the guy's name, but I couldn't remember.
No,
fucking, what's his name? Ryan?
Who, are you talking about that wrestler?
No, I'm talking about the show, the OC.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
The TV show.
No.
Never watched it?
No, but do you remember that one wrestler from 1992? And he was like a jail character. You remember he was wearing a jumpsuit?
Yeah. Oh my god. What was his name? That was his name?
No, I was
gonna say I don't remember what his name is, but I vaguely remember that. Was that from SummerSlam '92 or was that the big event?
It was from our LookBack.
Our LookBack. Yeah. Check it out. LookBacks. Yeah, I don't know. This segment, we talked about it a little bit. Club DX mixing kind of I don't know. It was weird. And then let's just get Scott Hall and Nash out there. Give them a couple NWO shirts and have them walk behind the guys. I don't know. I didn't enjoy this segment. I enjoyed the match. And I kind of wish we had more AJ Seth, to be completely honest. I'd much prefer that than maybe, well, I don't know. I'm looking forward to Seth and Brock. But I'm never going to complain about AJ and Seth. And if we get some champion versus champion stuff, if Seth manages to win back that title, I wouldn't be opposed to that either. So yeah, the family reunion, and then we get Maverick wins back the 24/7 title from
Ted.
From Ted?
Yeah.
I don't know how he got it back from Ted.
Yeah, see, these little parts, I was
Now that because I'm looking at my notes here too, but I know Maverick got the title back somehow. I think it was, you know what it was? It was inside the limo. And then it was really weird because you could hear banging and like, you could hear like smacking inside the limo, and they were shaking the camera around. It was weird. And then he came out, his wife was in the limo, and then R-Truth gave him a quick roll-up, jumped in the limo, and for some reason the limo drove away when it knew R-Truth got in there. I tried to make it okay in my own mind by saying to myself, maybe when R-Truth jumped in the limo, he was like, go, drive. Because if he didn't, why the fuck did the limo driver drive away?
It's kooky.
Well, yeah, it's just like Drake's. I know, I'm nitpicking, obviously, but I thought that in my head. I was like, maybe he told him to drive away, even though it's obviously scripted anyway. He knows he's going to drive away. Logically, maybe that's what they were thinking. Becky Lynch, or no, before I get to that, because I know you're going to want to talk about this. We had The Fiend attacking Mick Foley with the mandible claw.
Oh, yes.
Great little segment.
Yeah.
And they had like a little promo video for Mick Foley. I didn't really know what he was doing out there. And I liked the fact that they did the mandible claw, because I don't think Mick Foley should be taking any Sister Abigail's or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think he can, right?
No, I don't think he can either. So it's good that they did that move, and it's cool to see Bray Wyatt kind of slowly showing up on TV.
Yeah.
And then on SmackDown, we got the whole segment with him, being the red sweater guy on TV again, and kind of playing with the, what do you want to call him, like a schizo maybe a little bit. He's kind of alternate personalities, that kind of shit going on. But I can't find it now, but Bray Wyatt had put out a tweet about, thank you, I'm sorry Mick Foley, but thank you, or something like that. And it was like today he released a tweet, and I was like, I love how far he goes with his character, man. It's fucking awesome. But like I said, moving forward, I'll move quicker. Talking Bliss segment with Becky Lynch and Natalya. I loved that the segment started with Alexa and Becky, and before they could even get 2 words out, Natalya walked right out there, stood right beside Becky, looked at her, and she's like, whatever you have to say, you can say it to my face. So it's this feud, they're getting me, man, because when Natalya won, I was like, I know we're all Canadian, and we want to see the Canadian, and I've talked about how I saw Natalya wrestle in front of fucking 20 people in a building with a roof the size of this fucking studio. Not big. I want to see her do well, and I wasn't too excited last week, but the 2 promos that we've gotten, like the promo she cut on Becky after she won, and then the promo this week, I don't want to get into specifics, but just really good, and I'm excited, way more excited than I was, 2 weeks ago or a week ago for this match.
Do you think...
And I'm still wearing my Becky shirt no matter what.
I was going to
ask
you. Do you think the Canadians are going to be all for Natalya, or do you think it'll be a split?
I think it'll be a split, and that disappoints me, because I've been looking forward to 6 months of going to SummerSlam and having the whole everybody be cheering for Becky.
Manning out?
Yeah, and popping for my dope t-shirt that I've worn on the LookBack before. No? I don't know.
I like the feud, man. I do. Because I know they got like history.
Yeah,
I like that.
The pictures that we've been seeing on social media of them in Japan 12, 15 years ago is super cool, man. Yeah. I love it. And like I said, Natalya, Canadian, and wrestled locally here, back 2006.
Yeah.
And then they scrapped a bit, which kind of was super cool. Like, I love that they're getting physical. It's not just verbal. And what did we have after that? Geez, sorry, man.
No.
Random. This was really random. We had a squash match for Braun Strowman. I don't know if they even put that in.
I enjoyed when he fucking launched the guy. That was hilarious.
Bro, he chucked him far, and he beat the fuck out of him. And I kind of said to Newell, who hopefully will be on the show next week, the casual fan I mentioned earlier, I was like, I think, because he's like, well, what was the point of that? I'm like, well, I think they're just trying to remind everybody, hey, this guy's big, he's dominant, he's a big star, don't forget about Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't have anything for him on the Raw reunion. He's not really, reuniting with anybody. Let's just put him out in a quick 5-minute, 3-minute match. Get him over. Make sure nobody forgets that this guy's fucking dominant. That was my thoughts, at least. And then the final segment. They brought everybody out on stage, just like we always talk about. It's time for the principal to come out. We need all the students to line up. It's time for your head count, and it's time for recess. I hated that. Like, I loved this final segment.
Yeah. But you didn't like the fact that everyone was on the stage, right?
I was waiting for everybody to bow.
Yeah.
I was legit waiting for the show's over, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a bow. Yeah. Which I don't have anything against Broadway shows or plays or anything like that, but this isn't that. So don't treat it like that, and don't... We've seen everybody all night. We don't need to be... Oh, yeah, Eve was here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Devon did come out at the beginning of the night. Yeah, okay, I forgot. And
we're not big on the whole fucking... But they don't care about these things, like the characters. I'd be interested. You might have a better answer for this, like who was all there, like people who were feuding and stuff. I just don't like.
No. They didn't bring out the whole roster. They pretty much just brought out
just all the
legend, the
yeah.
people who were making their comebacks. Who they had people in there like Alicia Fox was considered a legend. Like she was there and she was in the legend segment, which. I guess she hasn't been gone very long, but when you think about how long she was there, she did wrestle with the Eve Torreses and the fucking, the Caitlins. And so she's been around for a while. I'll give her that. Yeah. But the final segment, we had...
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man! Well, let me tell you something, brother!
A couple of the GOATs on the stage. Whatever our thoughts are about Hulk Hogan, we've talked about that already. A couple of the top... wrestlers in the company and in the history of professional wrestling at the top of the stage there, and then we got the glass shatter. I don't have a proper soundbite other than the what, but we had Stone Cold coming out, man, and in possibly one of my most enjoyed segments in a few months at least, if not 6 to more months. I loved the realness of this segment. I don't know, but I feel like I know. Stone Cold was told, here's the microphone. You've got 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah, especially towards the end there. Like, yeah, I do definitely agree with that part of it.
Yeah, and at the beginning, like I talked about earlier in the show, I definitely think he was out there a little bit to be waving the WWE flag and rah WWE. This is the family. And I love that he was talking about the guys that set up the fucking ring and the crew and the lighting and the behind the scenes, the guys in the truck, and just really putting everyone over. And it wasn't... I know some people were upset, no Stone Cold Stunner, and he just came out to talk, but they didn't fuck around. They're like, you know what, let's just do a good segment with everybody's favorite guy, pretty much everybody, the guy that's, the most known in our company, probably of all time, just saying thank you and putting over the company and just positivity. Basically, the whole segment was based around positivity.
Yeah. And
then for him to have, a couple beers after, I thought the funniest thing ever was they had a cooler in each of the 4 corners. And, well, not only did RVD grab 2 coolers and run straight to Steve Austin and open them both and start to take them out. Like, he was holding 2, he grabbed 2 of them, I was like, this guy's a legend. Which he already is a legend, but you know what I mean. Stone Cold goes to grab a beer out of the cooler, realizes that they're not tall boys, and throws them back in the cooler, jumps on the top rope, and then does throws his hand out to catch 2 Broken Skull IPA Stone Cold beers, and then he proceeds to do the Stone Cold, smash them together, chuck them, and he tells the roster, that was another thing that I loved, because it was like, hey, everybody's on the stage getting ready to bow, and Stone Cold's like, no, everybody come on down, everybody come in the ring, I want everybody here, this isn't just about me, this isn't just about Hogan, this isn't just about Flair, let's get everybody down here, let's all have a beer and enjoy this reunion. Like, it looked like a barbecue in the backyard, but the barbecue in the backyard was the ring for these guys, and that is their backyard. So I loved all that aspect of it, and I'll let you talk. Sorry, I'm going.
This is all you. I don't really have much to speak on this.
But I just loved when they hit the music, and it was over, and then Stone Cold grabs the microphone. He's like, "How much time do we got left? Yeah. How much time we got? They're telling me we got 60 seconds." And it's like he saw the first person he saw. And it was Jerry Briscoe. And he goes over to Jerry Briscoe, and he's like, oh, I remember going good times with Jerry Briscoe. We were doing the legal things. And He literally said that. It was like, yeah, I remember doing some illegal stuff with Jerry here. And then he's just like, you know, everybody, I can't remember. I wish I knew exactly what he said, but he basically just said, like, everybody, you know, we're all here to do the good stuff. I'm butchering this right now, but he basically, like I said, positivity, talking good about all the fans, telling some stories. And then he said, oh, they're giving me 60 seconds and thank you. And then they hit the music again, and that was it. And it was just a good moment. Yeah. And there's a lot of times lately when I watch Monday Night Raw, and it's either is it too samey, is it too complacent, is it the same, is the show ending the same way? And I feel like it ends and then I shut the TV off and that's it. And I don't think about it sometimes, you know, until maybe later the next day. But this one, the show ended and we were all talking about it. And it was like one of those things where we were all talking about that final segment. And shout out to Smitty, James Smith, another guy who was a friend of the show. He's never been on the show or anything like that, but he's good buddies with Hurdy and Newell and some of our other friends. And he was here, and him and Hurdy, right before Stone Cold grabbed the microphone, and I remember what he said now. He talked about how, you know, I'm just a normal guy. I'm up here just being me, just being myself. And it was so funny because, not funny, it was small, I don't know. It's just a cool moment because these two casual fans were literally sitting there talking to each other about how he's just being him. And I'm watching, and I literally overheard their conversation. And they're like, yeah, like what do you mean? He's being himself, man. Like that's kind of Stone Cold. And then, I kid you not, 2 fucking seconds later, Stone Cold grabs the microphone and proceeds to tell everybody, hey, I'm just being me out here.
Yeah.
This is just me. This is just me doing my thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed it, that segment, a lot. I thought this episode of Raw, I know we don't normally dive this deep into Raw and cover the whole show beat for beat, but I thought with the reunion and the fact that it was a pretty good show, pretty good, bringing it back.
Classic song.
Classic. I enjoyed it, and I don't want to rag on it too much because we do enough of that on this show and every other, like we talked about, too many wrestling podcasts being too negative. I want to bring some positivity in and just, you know, give them one of these because they deserve it this week, and I enjoyed the Raw reunion. Mm-hmm. But Donnie, if that's all we got, then.
9:59, time to go home. So
we didn't get into that.
Well, that's why. But hey,
next week, stay tuned. Find out what the 9:59 means. If Donovan's here, we'll get into it. If not, we'll be back in 2 weeks with Don's take on the 9:59. We thank everybody for checking out the Pro Wrestling Look Back podcast this week. Like I said, this is the Round Table, episode 46. If you don't already, hit us up on Instagram and Twitter. Give us a follow. Give us a subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube. All the original episodes are up on YouTube. So if you guys want to maybe get a jump on it, I don't know. We appreciate the downloads on iTunes too. But for anybody that is able to, go check the ones out on YouTube as well, because some of the older ones that maybe won't make their way onto iTunes are there as well.
Yep.
Teespring.com, like I said at the beginning of the show, teespring.com/ProWrestlingLookBack is where you can get t-shirts, stickers. We've got an anniversary hoodie. There's a mug. There actually is a mug. I'm not just saying that.
Oh, yeah.
And there's maybe a water bottle and a backpack coming. I keep teasing it. But let me know if it's something you guys are interested in and I can get that going. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said before, follow us, subscribe at PWLookback. Send us an email, ProWrestlingLookback@gmail.com. If you want to send us a DM on Instagram or Twitter about roundtable topics, suggestions for the show, lookbacks, anything. We want to get in contact with you guys. And if you've made it this far into the show, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you. I'm Nick. Check me out on Twitter at Salsa, SCELSA.
My Twitter is at JustDon44.
And like I said, I'm Nick. And I told you I was going to stop talking in the third person, but
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. And if Don telling you to stay classy,